And with them crossing the road, how are we going to do the reproduction so that the country can have a larger population? Okay. So what's going on? Who making it lazy in the room? Is it a woman or the man? Or the men? Because I know our people, they quick to follow. Honestly, we see new things. Everybody want to be in the fries. We can't be fries lazy also because it's part of life. If you want to be in the fries, no problem. But the men are not supposed to cross the road because it's not good. I mean, not, I don't know. The men are not many to begin with. They're not plenty to begin with. And now they're crossing the road. So now what? Now what? What become of Liberia? And with you us having that small population, or I don't know if it's the smallest in Africa, with men crossing the road, now what? That's my question. Why? Why are they crossing the road? Who's making it lazy? The woman don't want to do what she's supposed to do, or the man, doesn't want to do anything anymore. Because I saw a one fine man yesterday, one fine man, okay? And he crossed the road. A lot of them been crossing the road. I've been sitting back here observing because I really don't get it. Like, why? How? And since they're not stopping, we need to talk about it. we need to talk about it. Population small, men crossing road. How come? How come? Look at the lovely couple. Absolutely lovely. Any young girl will look at this couple and say, wow, I want to get married. I want to get married. Okay. So then how come? Somebody look at you, a young girl look at your nice, lovely wedding picture, gold and white. You can never go wrong with those two colors. Okay. Fine, good looking young man. And now he just went across the street. Now that he across the street, what become of her? What become of her? Now what next? Now she's going to be frustrated. She's not going to trust men anymore in our society. Now what? I was talking to my girlfriend about it yesterday. She said, you know what? In time, some of us have to start sharing our men. I was like, what? She said, like, Vera, I don't know what to tell you because these women are going to be very frustrated. It's like a nightmare. And then they see somebody else's man is strictly not looking at the streets, not going close to the streets, not planning on crossing the streets, and they want to come in. You just have to allow it to happen. Because again, I said to her, the reproduction, she said, yeah, that's the only way we can keep it going by sharing. So this sharing thing going to be a normal thing in the Liberian community now too, with all the men crossing the street. With all the men crossing the street, those that are not crossing the street, people that have men, I'm one of them. So does that mean we're going to start sharing? Is that what's happening now? Well, if anything have to be shared, then then mortgage needs to be shared as well. Listen, yeah, I mean, let's say if anything else, if anything would be shared. If men will be shared, if somebody husband go across the street, all right. So if the men going across the streets and their women are being vulnerable, I just pray they're not going after another woman too. So if there will be men sharing or women sharing in the Liberian community, then there should be bill sharing too. So now it looks like we're about to go back to the 80s and 90s. And 2000 things were okay, but now we're about to go back to the 70s, 80s, and 90s, where our parents had many women and it was okay. People know their roles, people know their responsibilities, and things were in order. Okay, so the men that are straight and focused and not looking at the streets, if they decide to say, you know what, send sister over there is not, or sister come approach you and say, listen, sis, now that my husband is going across the streets, if I can just swap here or maybe share, the first thing first will be, okay, are we sharing the bills too? We're not only sharing one thing here. You got to share the bills too, because when our parents did it back in the 70s, 80s, and early 90s, or maybe the whole 90s, bills were shared. Okay, responsibilities were shared because we have to be realistic. 10 years from now, or five. Let's give it. Let's do a little by little. 5 good years from now, with the Liberian men them going across the road, crossing the streets left and right, and if a sister approach you and say, "Listen, you need to share, sis." We just have to be on the standby and say, "Okay, sister." Then the mortgage needs to be shared as well, especially to the Western world that we live. Mortgaging, they're really mortgaging. So if a sister thinks that a man going down the streets or across the streets, and she found it necessary to approach you and say, "Sis, I need you to share," just don't make it lazy, okay? Tell her, okay, then responsibility will be shared too. And it depends. If you are the first woman, then you have to take the initiative and take the leadership role and say, "Listen, every month I'm expecting you to bring this amount of X amount of revenue here, so that I'm the accounting and I'm the financial woman, everything else." Even though you will push your own hours too, we pay the bills, we give each other money in your pocket, and repeat every month while we do what we gotta do with the men. Because Labra, we have to continue. I have whole 5 children, and if we add on to Labra population, we get in there. Okay, we cannot stop another sister from having a child. Okay, so from the look of things, I see that coming in 5 years. I see that coming in 5 years. So I'm only saying to say that if you see a sister approaching you 5 years from now and says, "Sis, it is time to share," don't be surprised. Here is the first time you're hearing it. This is the first place you hear it live. I'm letting you know. I can see that happening. I can see it happening because from the look of things, things are getting out of hand. Have a great time. So yo, wait, let me try and find out here what you're saying. Oh, hello, hello. Oh, I think he been married before. I think he's still married actually. I don't think they divorced yet. I don't think they divorced yet. They still married. They still married from my knowledge, because they said that his wife posts on social media. She released a statement on social media saying that her husband is still her husband, and and she's fine with what had happened, and she will forgive her husband. Excuse me. Okay. So, and then again, we all seen it on their social media before, where Cece's tried to forgive her husband and it didn't work out well. Okay, and many other women try to forgive their husband and it didn't work out well. So sooner than later, sister gonna be in the community single. Okay, so if she find it necessary to join another relationship, a woman, there's that particular woman that she's gonna meet in that relationship, she just has to be ready on a standby to say, "Okay, sis, these are the rules and regulations here." These are the rules and regulations here. We're going to pay bills. Okay. We're going to pay bills. And this is what I'm expecting from you every month. Okay. If it's 4,000, 3,000, how much of 1,000 she's supposed to contribute? She has to bring it in. I don't know. Somebody going to be the first wife. Somebody going to be the second wife. Sharing about to take place. All right. Sharing about to take place in our community. Even though she says she forgave her husband, but sooner than later, that relationship is not going to hold, honestly. And I would personally advise that she goes and seek medical evaluation. Yes, because you don't know what all has transpired in the process. And again, if somebody want to join your relationship, and then you and your spouse find it necessary and you agree to make that happen, then everybody have to go and do a medical evaluation. Okay, no sickness, excuse me, no sickness. And now that you are here, you can't be anywhere else again. Because I think our parents did it. My father had how many wives? A lot of wives. Okay, and it was okay. Good afternoon, Mama. How you doing? And my older sister Felicia, I see you, love. Thank you so much for your love and support. Okay, so with all that's happening, I see you, man. Well, thank you. With all that happening within our society, we just have to start looking ahead. That's what I'm trying to say about that. We have to start looking ahead. What happened? Who's making it lazy? How did they go across how are they going across the street now? A lot of them running across the streets, and I'm confused by that. Liberian women are beautiful, beautiful tuma, beautiful a lot of stuff, beautiful futures. Why they're running across the streets? So that's one of the questions. All right. And what's happening? Who's making it lazy? And secondly, one thing that's bothering me right now is in Liberia right now is a lot of rest in peace with young people. And we can all attest that every other day on Facebook, somebody is rest in peace. 1 second, please. Okay. Every other day on Facebook, you will see a young Liberian person, even not only Liberia, but since Liberia is my country, I'm going to mostly lean on that. There's a lot of Liberian young people. Rest in peace, rest in peace. And it's sorrowful. Now, let's not make it lazy. It is Wednesday. Wednesday is our day. If you want data, say put me down, and I will put you down for data. Okay. We have our data raffle jar here. Okay. I will put you down for data while we're talking other things that are on my mind. Okay? But then again, we got to be serious about our Wednesday because Wednesday is our day. Okay. So if you want data, say put me down, I'll put you down in this jar. This is our raffle jar, and you will get to have a data. If you want to tell a childhood story where there will be incentive at the end, the link is in the description for you to go ahead, click it, and join. All right. So that's about the childhood memories. Okay. If you want the data, let me know. Put you down. If you want to join, you click the button there. Now, our healthcare sector in Liberia is so bad to the extent that every other day, rest in peace, rest in peace. And people that they saying rest in peace to your childhood friend that you left behind in Liberia now is no more. When you go back to visit him, to visit back Liberia, you will not get to see him. That's sorrowful. People are losing their loved ones, their parents. I mean, yeah, some of the young people that are dying, they're leaving babies around. A very young boy passed away the last time when we had the wife on the show. Yeah, by the way, my older sister gave me $50 to send to that particular young girl. I have to send that money. Yeah. Okay. So rest in peace is just everywhere, and it's really, really sorrowful. So I thought it was that we talk about it. What is going on that's killing people down there? What's going on in Liberia that people just dying? Rest in peace everywhere. What's going on? It's really, really sorrowful. Please put me down. Oh, most definitely I'll do that. How you doing, Ibrahim Kamara? How are you? How you doing there? Yeah. So the rest in peace that in Liberia is really scary. It's actually scary. So my concern, what is going on? And one thing, my advice to the Liberian people, those that living in Liberia, is you have to be very careful of your own life. You got to be your own security. Okay. Before you touch any food, you have to remember to wash your hands. Okay. Don't allow anybody to just sneeze in your face like that. You're not supposed to be. Our people, when they're sneezing, they don't do the American sneeze or the European sneeze where they go, that's a sneeze. That's the American and the European sneeze. They go, and they finish sneezing. But like African sneeze, African in general, African sneeze, they can say, you hear that? Hey, move from out of the way. Run for your life. Somebody come and sneeze, and you don't want them to sneeze in your face. Okay? So you're sitting down with somebody, your friend, your brother, your father. Listen, you don't know who carrying what. So you hear somebody, run. Run. They come and sneeze. You don't want anything to come out of that sneeze in your face. You don't want that. Run away. And if somebody don't wash their hands and they want to touch your food, say, no, brother, sister, mother, father, lover, wash your hands, please. Because I don't know where your hands carrying. Wash your hands. Okay. And then when it's time for you to do Sabbath, okay, love making your way here as Sabbath. Grand people call it Sabbath. Okay. So when you hear me saying Sabbath, you have to learn some